So, domestic violence affects everyone. It has no boundaries. But when we think of domestic violence, a lot of times we immediately think of physical violence.
When you think of domestic violence, you probably think about it being physical and bruises, scars, but not all domestic violence is physical. If you're constantly walking on eggshells and making sure that you're doing things exactly how your abuser wants you to do, then your chances are that you're in an unhealthy relationship, and it's most likely to be an abusive relationship.
For one, there's verbal abuse and emotional abuse. And that, can look like a lot of things. It can look like threatening you, or threatening your children, or threatening your family. It can look like, disregarding your comments, or putting you down, or calling you names, or, ignoring your feelings and humiliating you. Making you feel so small. There's also mental, psychological abuse. That, a lot of abusers play mind games with victims. Like denying that they are abusive, or blaming the victim. Saying like, if you didn't do this, if you would have cooked this meal better, I wouldn't have gotten so mad. Destroying your property, punching holes in the wall, hurting your animals, using your children, turning your children against you as a way to hurt you. There's also spiritual or religious abuse. And that can look like a lot of different things. Preventing you from worshiping, saying things like, your God abandoned you, I'm the one you should be worshiping. If your God loved you, why can't He save you?
Abusers tend to constantly yell at you, make you feel little. They also are always making sure that they know exactly where you're at, who you're with, and other times they might even distance you from your friends or family. They also tend to blame you for their actions. For example, if they will say, if you would have listened to me, then I wouldn't have hit you, or it was your fault. If you would have done this, I wouldn't have done this. So it's a lot of blaming, so they tend to blame you for their abuse.
One person controlling all the money in the relationship and not giving access to another. Preventing that person from working, and contributing to the relationship. Stalking is very dangerous, and I don't think we take it seriously enough sometimes. And so that can look like, the abuser following the victim, confronting them in a public place, appearing at their workplace or at their home. That can look like, repeatedly contacting or harassing or calling or texting, or, using social media as a way to abuse a victim. And then finally there is sexual abuse. And that can happen within a marriage as well. Rape, marital rape, or sexual name calling. If one person is not comfortable with what's going on, it's abuse. Demanding sex when a person doesn't want to give it. Or demanding it in ways that they don't want to give it. Or, it can go the opposite. Denying sex as a way to punish a victim. Making them beg for sex, beg for love, beg for affection. and withholding that as a way to have power and control over them. And that's really what domestic violence is based on, is power and control. And there are so many ways that a person can have that over another person. And if you're experiencing any of these, then it might be time to look at your relationship and reevaluate.